Welcome to the Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks podcast. We cover all things natural, cultural, and historical in the world around us. Sit back and enjoy our sometimes snarky, often funny, and never dull podcast. Hello, everybody. Notice I didn't say howdy. Welcome to Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks. I am Susan, your host.
That's kind of scary. I'm Monica. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Oh, today's actually, we were talking early before we started recording about, when I asked my AI person here about what's the chance of rain today? And they said 100% this afternoon. And I was like, whatever, because everything else I was seeing said 20%. Then I just got a notification that light rain is moving into the area. I'm like, well, I guess it might rain today.
I guess your AI buddy was right and everybody else was wrong.
I don't know that I believe any of them, but, it is what it is.
Take them with a grain of salt.
Well, I just go outside and look and go, yeah, no.
The weather rock. Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it hot? Is it cold? There you go.
It's true.
And it's cheap.
That's right. So with the weather being as it is, it always reminds me of, this is the kind of weather that I'm willing to go out and actually do hiking in. And sometimes, when you live in a big city, San Antonio, which where we're based out of, is the seventh, almost sixth largest city in the United States, which no one would ever say that it is. No one ever puts us on the same likes as, we're almost fixing to pass Philadelphia.
I think we passed Houston, right?
Oh, I don't think we passed Houston.
Well, I thought we passed one of them. I
don't
be wrong.
think so. Philadelphia is the one that's right above us that we're supposed to be passing if we haven't already.
Okay, I knew I'd read about one of them, that we were passing some big city. Oh, we're larger than Dallas by population.
Well, because Dallas, and most people think of Dallas-Fort Worth, combining those two, which is cheating because they're two. It's like combining San Antonio and Austin.
Yes,
it's true. That.
It's true. It's true.
Anyhow, but my point of that was, when you live in a large city, you really want to take advantage of the things that are within your city to get out and get around. So whether there are trailways, parkways, parks, whatever within your city. And today we're going to cover one of the most popular ones, I think, that we have in San Antonio, which is the Phil Hardberger Park.
Yeah.
It's a local San Antonio park.
That is a really nice park. And I can't say that I've been there too often. I want to say I've hiked there maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe more.
It's a really nice park.
It's really large too, for a city park.
It is a large park, but me, I've got to go and understand, how did this park come into being? Because it's not like it just all of a sudden poof became a park. Somebody had some land, because it really sits in the middle of San Antonio.
Yeah.
Well, it sits maybe, 10 miles outside downtown San Antonio, let's say that. But it basically sits in the heart of San Antonio. And it's like, how is it that we came upon this land to make this park? And it was recent, like in the last 20 years or so, this park became what it is. And as I started going down a rabbit hole of how this all happened, and it goes back to the Republic of Texas. That, I know, it's just fascinating, isn't it?
Okay, I'm like, okay. My curiosity is piqued.
Well, it's because, there's land that was purchased, or there was land that was, let me back this up.
Back up.
Where this sits is what they call Buttermilk Hill, I think. Because there were so many dairy farms out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And all of these dairy farms, all these people dairying, made this kind of what it is today because they gave the land.
Okay.
But I have to look at this. Yeah. So the foundation of this park is built on basically the last farm, which was the last dairy farm that was in this area. And it was known as Buttermilk Buttermilk Hill because of the growing number of dairy farms. So when you think about San Antonio and you think about where this is, because there's two entrances to this particular park. One is off
Right.
of Blanco Road and one is off of Northwest Military Highway that you can access this particular park. Which, if anybody knows San Antonio, you know that there's lots of housing around that area.
Yeah.
And then here sits this park. But at one point, it was a dairy farm.
I would have never, ever, ever known that. Ever.
Well, because I had to, I wouldn't have known it either, but I was like, how did we just happen to have this land and we just happened to make it a park? Well, when I say it goes back to the Texas Republic, there was a dude who fought for, Texas independence, and his reward for doing such a great job was basically the Republic of Texas gave him land. And on that land, he started the dairy farming. Or he was farming, and I guess dairy was part of it. Eventually, the Voelckers ended up, the hereditary or the history, they bought land basically from the Cokers and also then set up their dairy farm, and then that's kind of passed through their lineage.
Okay.
And when it got to the last pair of Voelckers, which was Minnie and Max, such good names, right? Minnie and Max Voelcker, that their spot of land, they never had kids, and they were dairy farmers. And at some point, they have a trust. Once they died, they had a trust. I mean, obviously, then at some point, they no longer did farming,
right?
Dairy farming, but they had a trust, and it was through this trust that basically the city of San Antonio was offered to this land. And it's like, I'm just so grateful that people think that far ahead, put stuff in a trust, and have this land that they could then donate or give to or have San Antonio purchase this land that then is this like gem in the middle of San Antonio to go hiking.
And we've talked about that before, how Texas, not just state and city parks, just Texas and maybe other states too, that people actually donate their land for the, I don't want to call it the greater good, but for everyone to enjoy. And when you said Voelcker, I recognized the name immediately.
Well, Coker's a big name too.
Yes, and Cokers,
And it's funny because Coker had a gazillion acres around in that area, and eventually those then got subdivided. Other people purchased parts and parcels or whatever, right? But when you go through the people who own land out there, they are like a microcosm of all the people and names of streets that you see in San Antonio, like Maltzberger, for instance, right?
Oh,
there was a Nancy Maltzberger or Jackson Keller. I mean, these are names of people who had the farms in this area of San Antonio.
That's really crazy.
It is crazy. And so eventually, as happens with development, right? So they, people were selling off to developers or whatever, but these people, the Voelckers, left their estate in a trust for the benefit of many things. And one of them was medical research. They do a lot for the UT Health Science Center.
Yeah.
And then they also had this, that they were able to work with the city of San Antonio and do what they did. Now, one of the most significant things of this park, and it is the largest one in the United States.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know what you're going to say.
Is the land bridge.
Land bridge, yes.
That they have that goes over one of the highways in San Antonio, Wurzbach Parkway. It's the largest land bridge for animals and people to go across.
I had no idea. I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't realize it was the biggest one in the U.S.
Well, and I don't know if the distinction of it is that it's both for humans and animals, which is the largest one, because I've seen other land bridges that are for animals, but they do have a trail you go across. But they also have, because they finished this out too, was the canopy part of the trail where you can walk amongst the high, tall trees.
Yes.
Which is really kind of cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you start putting all that stuff together, it's like there's a lot of things that really make this very unique. And it's named after Phil Hardberger because, of course, he was mayor at the time.
Yes.
And he had such a genuine interest in the natural states of things, in general in the environment, that when this opportunity came, he was like, we need to jump on this. And to help fund the rest of it, they did a bond. And he put his own, he had campaign ad funds. He used his campaign ad funds to get this bond passed because it was so important and dear to him. And I think to myself, if he had not done that, if this had not become available and it wouldn't have existed, it would have just been developed over, that would have been really sad.
It really would have, because when you go take the walks, they're not really hikes, because most of the trails are the crushed gravel, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, they are.
But they're beautiful walks, and the land is gorgeous, and it's super shady. There's just a lot to look at, a lot of nature to appreciate, and what you said earlier, in the middle of the city. You get in there and you start walking and you forget that you are in the middle of a giant city. It's a great park.
Because I don't think I could underscore enough about how this really is in the middle of the city. I mean, and it's large. It's just, it's large enough to get in a pretty good hike. And there are loops that they have a lot. I don't know if there's any in and outs, or they're really, I've only ever done the loops.
I don't think it's really in and out. They seem to all be kind of interspersed and interconnected. So you can make it as long or as short as you want to make it. Your walk, your hike, whatever.
Yeah, because it's kind of like these Venn diagram of loops in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
Which it just makes for just a casual, nice walk. Yeah, you don't need to probably take a huge backpack or anything to go on this or anything, but
no, but take your water.
You still need to take your water.
Yes, take your water.
Because especially if you go when it's hot, because I have done it when it's hot, and it's like I'm thankful for the shady trees and the benches, because
it is mostly shady, but there are some areas that are definitely in the sun.
That's true. And like when you go across the land bridge, in that area where the land bridge is, there's no shade.
Yeah.
I mean, the trees, they did plant some other trees in that area where the land bridge is.
Yeah.
But it's just so cool because you really, I mean, when I have gone, I've actually seen deer out there on the land bridge.
Oh, really? Okay. I've never seen any animals on the land bridge.
I've always seen deer out there. And then they said that there's so many more different kinds of animals. Of course, you got your possums and your raccoons and all those people, right?
Sure.
Or animals, not people, that go across this land bridge. And so it's doing exactly what they wanted, to not disrupt what was their world, right? That we were encroaching upon. So it's kind of nice that that's there. But going back to kind of the Voelckers, there are some original housing or buildings, I guess, that were out there as well. So there's like this little spate of history that sits out there that, again, is from these two people that didn't have children, put their estate in a trust, and have done some really great and wonderful things with the building of, or making this park possible in the city of San Antonio.
I'm going to veer for just a second. When we were talking about Voelckers and Kokers and names that we recognize, especially for those of us who live in San Antonio and drive around San Antonio, there is a special on KLRN, which is our public television station. There is a special about, I think it's called San Antonio Remembered. And it goes back to how San Antonio was developed, and, you know, the days of how the city came about. And there were a lot of anyway, I don't want to get too into that, because it's kind of a fascinating thing. If you live in San Antonio and you can access KLRN, do it. But a lot of the people that came on and were talking about the development of the city in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, when you would read their names, the people that were talking, you're like, oh my God, there's a street named after them. There's a park named after them. And these were some of the influential people that were like donating money or time or energy or whatever to kind of get this city up and going. So it just kind of reminded me of that. It's a great little show if you live in San Antonio, the surrounding area, and can access it through your KLRN channel. Which, you know, PBS, public television, donate. Donate, get the channel. But anyway.
Because they can always use the help,
They can use the help.
It's that development in all of our cities. So no matter where you're watching from, your city developed from something, right? Somebody else owned that land before developers bought it to put houses on it, right?
Yeah.
So it's it's always fascinating to kind of do this tracing through and then to recognize the names that then we have like on all of our names, our streets and in our elementary schools or whatever, right? It's kind of cool to make that connection and then to know that you're walking, particularly in this park, you're walking in history that dates back to the formation basically of Texas as one, a republic, and then two, becoming a state in 1845. And that I never could have imagined this many dairy farms in the area. And again, thankful for the people who were like, hey, we've got this land, it's in the estate, San Antonio, do you want to buy it? And then we figured out a way to make that happen.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. I would have never known. What did you say it was? Buttermilk
Hill.
Buttermilk Hill. I would have never.
But it's and then the Voelckers were the last, they were the holdouts. They did not want to give up their land while everyone else was giving up land and of course having it develop for many different reasons, right? They were the last holdout, and I mean that they were the last dairy farm.
That's when you talked about the Buttermilk Hill, it reminded me of the little hike, and we've got a video of the hike I did through Comanche Lookout.
Oh yeah,
which I think was the second highest hill in the city of San Antonio. I wonder where Buttermilk Hill falls on that.
Well, that's a really good point, because when you think about Hardberger Park, I don't know that there are
hilly
really hills there.
Yeah, it's not hilly at all. So I'm curious as to how they came up with, unless that was just a name, Buttermilk Hill. I mean, it's got a ring.
I mean, it makes sense that it was Buttermilk Hill back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's hard to imagine that, I think, today. I mean, I guess, because there's just been so much development and whatever. But yeah, so thankful that the city of San Antonio voted yes to do this particular bond to help fund the purchase of this land and then to make it what it is. And so there are so many things that you can see when you go out to that park and just enjoy and just take in. It's a nice little respite from the big city.
I learned two things. I learned about Buttermilk Hill, which I'm going to try not to think about that the next time I go walking there. And then I learned that this is the largest land bridge in the United States. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I will think about that when I go crossing over that bridge.
Yeah. Well, because once we had the land, it's like they did a national search for architects to build out this park.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that we did that, because this wasn't, we were just going to slap it together. It was going to have purpose in terms of making sure that we did right by the environment, that we did right by the animals, we did right by many different things.
Yeah.
And so, so it was a national search. They then picked whoever it was. And then, we now own, because it's expanded a couple of times, it's like 330 acres, which is big inside of a city.
That's huge. We just did the podcast on Palmetto State Park, which was 270 acres. And that's a state park. A state park.
Exactly. I mean, but I guess that's why I keep wanting to underscore that this sits in the middle of San Antonio. So if you live in San Antonio, there is no reason you haven't gone out to Hardberger Park if you haven't gone out to Hardberger Park.
That's right. That's right.
So there you go.
Wow.
So it was the winner. So just a couple of other fascinating facts about Hardberger Park. It was the winner of the American Society of Landscape Architects Honor in 2015 and the American Planning Association Excellence Award in 2009.
Wow.
Part of we have a Greenbelt Trail that's in San Antonio, and it connects in different ways to that.
Yes.
So it connects to the Salado Creek Greenway,
Yes.
which extends another 4 miles north. And it features a 13-acre restored prairie landscape and restored wetlands. So, and it says, and this was described by designers as a park that could never exist anywhere else. It's distinctly San Antonio. Like,
well, there you go. There you go.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But now I will say, from a logistics standpoint, again, there are two ways you can get into this park, off of Blanco or off of Northwest Military Drive. And I will also say that sometimes on popular days when it's not hot, it gets really packed in that parking area. So plan appropriately, go early or go late. They have 7.5 miles of trails that you can walk upon, and pets are welcome on all the trails. So make sure you bring a little furry friend and enjoy what's out there. And since they're mostly flat, you can have strollers and stuff on there too.
Yeah, and the pavilions there are really, really nice. Bathrooms are completely accessible. It's just a great park.
Well, and they have public art installations throughout the park. There's a children's vegetable garden. Yeah, a children's vegetable garden, wildscape demonstration garden. They have an urban ecology center on the west side. So this is why, again, this has probably been within the last 20 years or so, that it's not just about saying we have land set aside, go hike it, go walk it. It's like we made it with purpose. And that was part of, I think, also searching for the national architect to help design this in a way that was going to withstand the test of time and also be kind of an educational thing and also represent local parts of San Antonio from an artistry standpoint, for instance.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it, I think, unique and just such a valuable place to go to, and that we're lucky to have it here in our city.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. So there you go. We have learned a few things today.
So thank you to Phil Hardberger.
Well, thank you to Phil Hardberger. Thank you to the Voelckers for having this land in the trust, that they then made a phone call to him and said, hey, you interested in buying it? And that San Antonio and Phil Hardberger scrambled together to figure out how we would get that done, and that the voters spoke, because it's important. I am not sure
if this is still going.
Okay. So get out and enjoy Hardberger Park. We're thankful that it's there and it's inside the city, so you have no excuses. So if you like what it is that we're covering, or if you have any suggestions for us, please drop us a note in the comments, but also like us and share with your friends, because we cover local stuff, national stuff all around, and we might even go international at some point.
You never know.
You never know. So stay tuned for all of that. And anything else, Monica?
You can buy us a coffee.
You can buy us a coffee.
You can get some merch at the Zazzle store, our Zazzle store.
You get a little bit of everything with us.
Yep. Like, share, all that stuff. We appreciate
all that wonderful goodness. So be sure you do that. And I guess that's all we have for today.
That's it. Thanks for tuning us in. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. And remember to hike your own hike. And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and remember to follow our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks on YouTube, where you also get to see our lovely faces, pictures, and videos of our journey.